Right, we have Claudio Roditi, who hooked up with Dizzy many times. You played in the United Nation band, didn't you?
Yeah, well, actually, that
But
was
before you.
no before no.
No,
That,
that was
that
it?
was the first time. As a matter of fact, I was just thinking here how it happened. I was sitting with my lady Kristen on a Friday night in our apartment in Brooklyn, and the phone rang, and it was Brenda Feliciano, Paquito's wife. Said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, not too much. We here in a party here in Washington, and some Paquito and Ignacio Barroa, they all said that they told Dizzy that you should come to join this band tomorrow. Can you do it?" I said, "Are you kidding? What time do I have to go?" She said, "Very early." I said, "I'll be there," and that was it. So I flew to Washington, and that was the second day of rehearsals of the United Nation Orchestra. So I played that night, and I didn't have any solos because Dizzy didn't know who I was, and he wanted someone actually to play the parts because there were arrangements that had been written for two trumpets, and Dizzy didn't want to play the parts, so he just wanted to play the solos and the melodies. So they called me for that. Then the next gig came, and they called me again. So by the third gig, I said, "Well, I think I'm in the band now."
Yeah. Were you in that United Nations at that time?
And movie.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that band.
And we have Antonio Hart, alto saxophonist, flautist. And I remember hearing you with Dizzy right here at the Blue Note when they had the 2 weeks with the trumpet players and Dizzy and with the alto players. Was that the first time you played with him?
No, actually, well, yeah, that was the first time I played with him. But my first encounter with Mr. Gillespie was when I was at college at Berkeley. He was a guest artist, and we played some of these big band arrangements, and he conducted the band. So that was the first time I actually met him for a second. But actually standing on the bandstand next to him and playing with him was here.
Do you remember any particular things that he was talking about that day? What was he telling the students?
He didn't say very much at the college. I remember, more importantly, the instance that sticks out to me the most is just playing with him here, because I was just so shell-shocked. Number one is Dizzy Gillespie, icon. And then I just thought, Charlie Parker probably stood like right here. And I'm sitting here, and I'm like, now I'm playing these songs. I can't play anything that this guy hasn't heard. There's nothing I can do. And I think he saw that I was nervous, and he did something, it was something that was incredible. He had this Avion bottle of water, like a big one, and he sat there and drank the whole thing, And of course the audience got into it, and I'm sitting there, and it was his way of saying, relax, just go ahead and play. I really felt that way. And then I said, well, I'm gonna just do my thing. And that was the introduction to Mr. Gillespie. Brought me to my mentors, these people. I can't believe I'm in a room with these guys. I don't have much to say, but yeah, I'm very thankful and blessed.
I heard you the other night. You were saying something.
You said something every time. Interesting. Were you still in school when you played with Dizzy here?
I was with you.
Yeah, because I know we played the first week with Kenny Barron and Elvin.
Yeah.
We played, and then he went into separate people.
Bob Crenshaw,
Yeah, Bob Crenshaw and Elvin, and we played the first week. I got some pictures of that. You got some, Sly?
No, I don't. I got a picture of that.
Yeah.
Big picture.
Yeah, that was amazing. With Elvin and Dizzy and Kenny Barron. That was amazing.
Well, I met you, Antonio, when you were playing with the Jazz Futures, with Roy Hargrove, and Benny Green, and Christian McBride, and we were over in Victoria, in the Basque Country. And I remember we all were sitting down to lunch, and you guys were really turned out. You had your suits and everything, and almost in unison, you took your ties and flipped them over your shoulders so you wouldn't get any stains on them.
He did that. You did that the other day.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's a style.
Stuff that people remember. Yeah.
You know what I say? I say that, like, to me, not only to be in the company of Slide and Jimmy, Antonio, and Claudio, like, I wish that I could have been like like Antonio to have someone of Jimmy's stature to help me to become a musician.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have that, you know. But the thing is now, is that it's better late than never. So when I sit there each night and listen to each one of these gentlemen play, like all I can say is, wow. And I mean that because it's bad, boy, you know.
Well, Mr. Moody, you know, what I think about every night is the way Dizzy would love this band. Because when I was in the band, he had maybe 2 soloists other than himself that were really of a level that was acceptable. And now, in this band, I've never seen a band like this one. That everybody, you can just pick this point, close your eyes and go, you play next, you play next. And it comes out at a high level. So that's what, and that I know Dizzy would say, I could just imagine he's somewhere smiling and saying, look what I did. I didn't realize what I was doing.
You sure did.
Look at this.
I can see what Diz would say.
Say, wow, what did I start?
And how about the collective sound of the band? And whoa, I sat there the other night and just drank it in.
Well, you know, when you go back and listen to some of the older bands of Dizzy, you know, the ones that weren't rehearsed that well, and then when he comes out and starts playing, it was so incredible. You know, the way he played the trumpet was so incredible.
Oh, yeah.
And no matter what the band was playing, like he would come out of that, man, with all the control and flexibility and everything, and range and everything. It's amazing to hear. And he, in fact, he's the only trumpet player that I ever heard that had that kind of control over the horn that he had.
And ideas never stopped.
I did.
No. It's almost like my wife said, it's a religious experience coming here to hear this band. She's like taking her back to her youth. You know, it's very touching.